Hi guys, so by now I should be live. Please do let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to wait a few more minutes before the official time of the start of this webinar, and I will just quickly have a chat with you in the comments to see if there's anyone already there hanging out, waiting, and I'll just start with an introduction in a few minutes. So thank you for joining me. We will kick off the MailChimp guide for beginners really shortly. If you have any questions or anything, please do message us in the comments. Do let us know. There should be Andrew and Karen from Cambridge Online in live with us in the stream, watching your comments. If by any chance I do miss your comment, if there's anything you can't understand, you can't hear me, please do let me know in the comments. And if I can't pick it up, they will definitely pick it up. So to just give you an idea of what we're going to talk about today, we will go through MailChimp, which is a really great tool for email marketing. And we will look at how can you set up your account, how to navigate in your account, and we will get to know all the different parts of your account, how to create lists, how to create new campaigns, how to create new templates. We will have a really quick look at how to create landing pages and sign-up forms. And then we will go through seeing how actually the reporting looks like and how can you measure your results. So I will show you all the basic steps. We will not go in depth of creating automation or creating a sign-up forms, really specific ones. So we'll quickly show you really what is possible in the basics in terms of how can you create your list, how can you implement, how can you import your own information into the list, and then we will have a look at how you can actually create campaign really easily, really quickly. So I'll just give everyone a few more minutes to tune in. As I said, welcome to the Beginner's Guide to MailChimp in collaboration with Cambridge Online and Cambridge CVS. We're hoping that you will get great value out of this webinar. If you have any questions or anything, please do let me know in comments. And as I said, there will be hopefully Andrew or Karen from Cambridge Online in the comments with me, keeping an eye on them, making sure that everything that you might want to ask and it wasn't clear enough is clarified for you. So I can see that we have already a few people watching, which is brilliant. If you want to, you can say hello in comments, introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, which organization you're here on behalf, so we can actually get to know each other and we can see who's here today and we can get to know each other a little bit better. So I will kick off with introducing myself. Hi, I'm Lenka. I'm a social media consultant, and I'm working with small businesses, freelancers, and lots of social enterprises and charities, and helping them to understand how social media can help them grow their business, grow their organization, and achieve their goals. And aside from social media, I'm also helping them to understand digital marketing and all the specific tools and features and parts of digital marketing, anything from content marketing, video marketing, to email marketing. I just wanted to say a disclaimer. I am not an email marketing professional. I do use email marketing for my own business, and I've helped a few clients with their email marketing as well, but I am just a regular MailChimp user, so I'm no power user, I'm no pro in MailChimp. So this guide will be pretty much really the basics, scratching the surface of how you can create your account and how to use this platform to send beautiful emails to your audience. So I will not waste any longer of your time, and I will just quickly switch to screen sharing mode, so we can start sharing the screen and you can actually start seeing what I want to show you, how MailChimp actually looks like. So give me a second. I will swap it out. So we should be ready. You should be able to see my screen now. So as you can see, the simple way to go to MailChimp is to write mailchimp.com, and the landing page, the main page, will show up. If you don't have an account, you can click on sign up for free. And there is a really simple, like 5 minutes process of setting up your account. You will need to put your email, your username, your password. You will need to verify your email through the email that will be sent to you. MailChimp will ask you a few follow-up questions in terms of what is your actual address, and what is the user, what is the real name of the person, not the company who will be using this MailChimp account. As you can see, it gets started with a free account. MailChimp has a great support for free accounts, so there is no need to pay. As a free user, you have up to 2,000 members on your mailing list and loads and loads emails each month that you can send. So there is no need to pay for MailChimp or anything, especially for smaller organizations with smaller lists. So I will not go through the setup of the account. If you ever have any issues with setting up your account, do get in touch. I do have a short video showing how to do it, but it should be pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So we will go and we will log in. So again, as simply, you will just type your username here, and you will type your password here, and you will get access to your MailChimp. So this is the default MailChimp, and there we will quickly go through all the sections of your account. So this is your account. If you click on this little arrow here, you will see that you can adjust your notifications, because obviously you signed up with your email. So MailChimp will be sending you emails every now and then, and you can decide how many of them you actually want to be receiving or not. You can update your profile, so you can change the name, the email addresses, the passwords, any other notifications for security. Obviously, if you have any paid account, then you can adjust your billing here. And there are lots of integrations and extras in here. For example, if you want to connect your MailChimp to your website to set up some automation, you will need the API key. But as I said, this is the basic tutorial today, so we will not go into any of that. So just continue. You can set up your account and do all the basics in here. But the most important part is this bar on the top, where you have all the important parts of your MailChimp. You have the campaigns, which are the actual emails, the designs that you send out and that you've created. Then you have templates that are actually designs that are pre-created, and you can reuse them, and you can create your own ones, or you can use the ones that are already pre-made, and there is a variety of them ready to go. And obviously the really important part of email marketing are lists. So here you can manage all your lists, and you can see all the subscribers, and you can also create new lists. And after you've sent some of your campaigns out there, then you will see all the reports in here, so you can measure the result of your campaigns. So to be able to send out a campaign, you will need to have a list. So maybe you already have a list somewhere in your database, or maybe you already have been collecting email addresses on your website for email marketing. for a while and you already have some connections, so you can add them in here. So you can see that there is already one list pre-created with one subscriber, and we will start to create new list by clicking on create new list. It will give you the options if you want to actually create a new list or you want to just divide existing list into groups. At the moment, we want to create a new list, and here you can type the list name, which in this case could be Cambridge Online Workshop attendees. Please make sure that this name is something nice and professional and official, because this is something that is publicly visible. So people might be able to see this, and you don't want to have something inappropriate. You don't want to have something that doesn't look good. So make sure that the list name is something appropriate. And then you will write a default email address. So for example, I can use this one, and I can use my own name to send this email from. And obviously you need to add a note of why are people receiving this email. That will show up in the footer of each of your email. So in this case, we might say that you this is just a reminder to people to actually understand where do you get their email address from and why are you emailing them. So you can always go back and change this. Just make sure that really this is something that people will get the understanding of why are they receiving this, this email. You can change your email address. You can decide if people want, if you will require any double opt-in options, which means that people not only after they signed up to this list, not only that they will go straight to the email, but they will first get an email which will require them to confirm their sign up. So especially with GDPR coming into effect, there is more importance of actually making sure that you have the right permissions to email to your list, that you are not over emailing them or not emailing them with the wrong information, that you are protecting their data, and that they are absolutely clear on what information about them you're holding, how are you protecting them, and what emails or how often you will be emailing them. So you can also enable the GDPR fields and again give them a bit more information about why are you collecting this data, why are they on this particular email list, how will you store their data, and how often and with what content you will be emailing them. You can also decide if you want to receive notifications about activity. I would usually recommend you don't need to have these notifications because it's just too many emails coming into your inbox, but you can always go back and change these settings. So now we have created a list, but there is no list. There are no contacts in there yet. So there are a few different ways how you can import or how can you add contacts to your list. You can import contact if you already have them somewhere else, or you can create a sign-up form to get started and to start collecting email addresses. In this scenario, we will expect that you already have your list somewhere, so we will try to import your contact. And you can see that there are, again, multiple options how to import your contact. So if you have them somewhere in a spreadsheet, you will need to have it in one of those files, CSV or text file. Or you can copy paste them if you have them in any Excel spreadsheet. You can literally copy paste them, or you can use one of the integrated services if you use any of the Google Contacts or any of the lead generation tools like Salesforce or Zendesk. So for example, right now we will try copy paste them from file, and it will give us an option to literally paste the email address here. If we don't have anything copied, so I could literally start typing here, and I could start typing my email address, my name, my surname, and I could continue with multiple. Obviously, given that it's free, it will always remind you that until you reach 2,000 followers, subscribers, you will be on the forever free plan. But as soon as you reach over to 2,000, you will be required to start paying. So that we can click next, and I might have wrote my email incorrectly. So this is their issue with my email. But if you decided you actually don't want to copy paste your file, you can go back and you can actually decide that you want to import a tab, or you can actually paste them through a file. So you can browse the file in your computer and upload it. It will give you option to arrange the email address on the list accordingly. So this is the way you can actually import your list. So we will go back, and now we will see that we already have this list, and this has a subscriber in there. So then you can see that here in the list, you have lots of options in this particular tab. So one of the tab is stats. So once you've sent out some campaigns, you will be able to see the result. You can manage all the contacts. You can unsubscribe. You can create groups or segments. You can always import more contacts in here, and you can obviously export this list. Here you can add. So if I would like to add more subscribers to this manually, I can do this here. So I can choose this address to go here. I can add the first name, the last name. I can add more, or I don't need to add more. It depends on what information you're actually collecting about people, phone number. But the most important part is this tick box, which says this person gave me the permission to email them. So you need to have a permission to be able to add someone to your MailChimp list. And also you need to be able, again, in the GDPR rules, to be able to prove what permission you have and what was the exact wording of the permission and all the other stuff. Again, I would like to say I'm not a GDPR expert, so if you have any questions about GDPR, I would highly recommend reaching out to someone who is a bit more experienced with the GDPR law. But I would say that one rule in terms of GDPR to always follow is just be a decent human being. Do not abuse, do protect other people's contact details, do not spam them, and you should be fine. You can also, if by any chance this person is already on the list, you can update. We don't want to because there's no one on the list, so we can add people manually. So again, we can see now that we have 2 subscribers in our list. And there are lots of other settings where you can import, or you can edit, or you can change the list settings. So for example, if you would like to track the results from your campaign on your website, not only with the MailChimp, but also on your website, you could connect your MailChimp and your particular list to your Google Analytics, so you could see how are people who received an email from you interacting on your website. So this is the list creation, and I will just really quickly go back to the YouTube channel to see if there are any questions, because as long as I'm sharing my screen with you guys, I can't see what's happening in the YouTube. So I will every now and then just quickly flick through both to actually see what's happening and if there are any comments. Brilliant, no comments, no questions. People still seem to know what we're talking about, which is brilliant. So we will go ahead and we will start with creating campaigns. So to create a campaign to send out an email, you will click here on the Create Campaign. And MailChimp will give you different options. What do you want to create? Because now MailChimp also allows you to create landing pages and sign up for, so you can collect email addresses directly within MailChimp. But at the moment, we will have a look at create an email. So here we will type a name of the email. So I will type just Cambridge Online. You can see that you have different options of emails here. So you can send a regular campaign, or you can create an automated campaign. You can send a plain text campaign, which is no design. It's not HTML coded. It's just really plain text. Or you can send an A/B test. So if you have a bigger list and you would like to test what actually resonates the most with your audience, you can create multiple versions of your email and send an A/B testing email, where MailChimp will send different versions of your email to different people. And based on their reaction, based on the higher open rate, the higher click rate, then MailChimp will send the rest of the campaign. He will send the best performing version. But for the time being, we will just choose a regular email campaign. So we will name it and we will click on begin. And before we will actually get to the physical act of designing campaign, we need to create the basics of who are we sending this campaign to. So we are sending it to campaign of this emailing list. You want to personalize the to field. So this is when you're receiving the emails, it might say your email address, or if you select this F name, which is first name, then it will say to Bob or to Lenka or to the first name. So it will be more personal. So from, again, you might say the name and your email address. Where would you like to receive the responses from people to this particular email, if anyone wants to email you back? And then the two most important parts of this email are the subject. So the subject is what people see in their inbox. It's the headline, it's the first thing, and often the last thing that they will see. If they don't open your email, if they just quickly scan through their inbox and they will see email from you, this is the only thing that they might see. So there will be something really catchy, something that really captures their attention, that tells them really clearly what this email is about. So in this scenario, we might write something about this workshop or something about another workshop. So we might say, join our next MailChimp webinar. Definitely could be better, definitely could write something a bit more engaging. And also you can see that you can add emojis. So if there's something emotional, if there's something really exciting, you might be able to choose an emoji and insert it there. So again, it stands out in the inbox. It makes it more visual and easier for people to spot it in their massive inboxes. And the preview text is kind of like the first line, the first paragraph of your email. It's something that, again, people might see in their inboxes. It's something that if they never open your email, this might be the only thing that they will see. And this will be the thing that might convince them to actually open the email. So in the preview text, you might again write something a bit more informative about the campaign that you're sending out. For the time being, I will leave it empty. I don't have any creative ideas on my mind, or I might just write something catchy in case, just to see how it's going to look like. So we can save this. And now we're going to the most exciting part of the whole campaign creation, is the designing the actual email. So there are different ways of how you can design your email. MailChimp has lots of templates already prepared for you, and it's really easy to use. So you can choose one of the featured one, which actually tells you what it is good for. So for example, this one is to sell a product. This one is to make an announcement. You can tell a story. You can follow up. You can educate. Or you can choose one of the basic ones, which tells you just the layout of the actual email. If it's going to be split in 2 columns, if it's just going to be simple plain text. Depends on what it is that you're trying to achieve. Depends on what it is that you're actually aiming at with your email. If none of these actually spark any interest or excite you, then you might go to the themes and choose one of the pre-created themes in MailChimp. And again, there is loads of them to choose from. The featured ones will be changing. There's one they're specific for e-commerce websites. There are specific ones for if you're hosting an event. They're specific for each holiday. So over Christmas, you will have specific for Christmas. In autumn, you have some specific autumn ones. So there's lots of options that you can decide. For now, we will just choose one of the basic layouts. We will choose this tell a story, which looks pretty nice. And we will go straight into designing of your first email campaign. So you can see that you have the layout in here. So there are a few things to know about how to edit your MailChimp campaign. If you hover over something, you will see that the pop-up box will appear. So with this, you can move things. So if you drag and drop, you can literally take this and you can move it around. You can delete it if you by any chance don't want this anymore. You can delete it here. If you like this, again, you can copy and you can duplicate it with this block. But the most important part is this edit pencil. So if you click at the edit, it will open up and edit. So here you can edit the text, you can edit the copy, the font, the style. So the same goes for any section. So any section, as you can see, once I hover over it, I have all the same options. If I decided I want something different, that I don't want a photo here, but I want an image card, or I want an image with caption, or maybe I actually want to have a video here. So I might delete this one. And instead of this one, I might drag and drop this video block here. So then we will start customizing our campaign. So we will choose logo. So we will choose our logo. I've already have some designs pre-saved here. But if you don't, you just click on upload and you will find the actual image that you would like to use in your desktop, in your save folder. And you can choose whichever and you can upload it to MailChimp. Sometimes MailChimp you can see the size. Sometimes it might be too big or too small. So you can click on edit and the image will open up to you and you can see the variety of editing options you have here. One of the most often ones will be the crop. So for example, you don't want to have these blue marks over here. We could crop the image and we could have just this white space. So we could move this around and crop it like this. And if this is the right shape that we want, we can click apply. If it's too big and we want it smaller, we can click on resize and we can type the size of the image that we would like to use. Once we're done with all the editing, we might want to add a frame or not. Once we're done with the editing, we can click on save. And again, you can see that the image will change in here, but this image doesn't have the right dimensions. So I will click on replace, and from my files in my MailChimp account, I will choose a better image that has the right dimension and has the right shape. So once I'm done with the image, I can also link this image to something. So if you want this image to be clickable to go to a specific link, you can click on a link and you can paste the URL here. So for example, if I wanted this image to actually lead to actual email address, I could paste the email address here, and anytime people would click on it, it would send them to the email address. Once I'm done with editing this, I can click on save and close. And again, I will get the same selection of the options that we can drag and drop, and we can share, we can create. So there will be the main headline will be here. So it could be whatever you might decide to say to people. And again, you can change the text here. If you want to change the color, so for example, you would like to have it on brand to use blue, so you can choose which text, and you can click on the text over here, and you can maybe select the blue color. Or if you actually want a specific blue, so for example, in here, I have my codes for my branding that is relevant for the Cambridge Online or for Cambridge Social Media or whatever brand you have. So you can copy your code. And again, in here, you can go to more colors. And in this box, you can paste the hex code, and it will, you can see that this blue color is the same like this blue color. So it's on brand. You can change the type of font. So if you have a specific font that you're using for your brand, you can choose it here. You can change the size. You can do all the editing. You can add bullet points. You can add normal points with numbers. You can change the alignment if you want to have it aligned to the left, to the center, or to the right. So all the traditional kind of Word document editing tools are in here. If you want to introduce yourself to the audience and you want to have it in the traditional email style, which is like hi, the name, and something, then you obviously want to have it personalized and you want to say each person's name. And that's why the merge tags are actually the things how you can customize your email. So in here, we want to use the first name. So we will enter the fname tag. And once this email goes out to people, it will use their first name and it will say hi, their name, instead of just hey, saying hi everyone or something that is not personal. So this is it for the text. You can again change the text. You can save it. And then if we decided we actually want to have an image, so we will add an image here. You can again browse here and we can choose which image we actually want to insert. It says that this image is way too big over here. So you can click on let's fix it, or you can go back to the edit and it says it's way too big. So again, the ideal dimension would be this. So we will resize it here and we will save it here. And you can, again, you have lots of settings in here. So you can see that if you want to align to different, if you want to have it left aligned or right aligned, if you want to have it edge to edge or not, you can change all the settings in here. And again, if I wanted to link this image to something specific, I could again insert the web address in here and insert it like this and save it. So this is how you would do with the rest of the email. So you can again change the photo here, change the text here, change the photo here, change the text here, and you have call to action buttons. So usually in each email you will have some call to action. There will be something that you're trying to say. There is something that you're trying to convince your subscribers to do. And that's why you need to have a call to action that says the action for people. So in this case, we might not want to have read more, but we want people, we want to say book now because we will be talking about an online course. And again, we might type the web address we want people to go to here. You can also change the style. So again, if the background is not looking good with your branding, you can again paste the code of your color in here, and they can see that again the blue looks a bit more on brand. And you can change all the styles, you can change the style, the size. You can see that you can have it really big, really visual, to full width, or fit to text. So if I would be texting, typing a bit more, book your ticket now. So for in this case, you can see that the button is becoming bigger as I type, but it still fits only to the text. So once I'm done with this, I can again click Save and Close. And another thing I want to show you is how to do a video. So for this example, we will need to go to YouTube, and we will need to find a video that we would like to share. So in this, it really doesn't matter which video it is. We will go for the share. We will copy the URL. And in here, when we click on the edit button, you will see that you have a box here for the URL. So we will just paste it here, and it will create automatic preview. You can again edit the text below here, so you can tell people a little bit more about this video, or you can just say watch our video here, anything that you would like to. You can edit your video here again. If there's something you would like to edit about this photo in the preview, you can edit it here. You can change the style. Again, if you have different font, if you want to use different color, if you want to have the captions on the top instead of on the bottom, you can change it all in here, and then you can click Save and Close. So this is how you can easily create your own campaign. You can drag and drop from here any kind of elements, from simple text to image and text to different call to action buttons. You can have multiple of them. So for example, if we wanted to have one more in here, I would take this, would move it here. And again, I could type the web address here. I can change the style to the color that I want here. And once I'm done, I can save. But you can see that now it's a little bit more cramped, that there's text, image, button, everything, and it's just all really intense. So we can add divider. So we can actually divide this space from this space to give it a bit more white space, give it a bit more air. And this, you can again change the style of the divider. So you can choose if you want a solid, if you want dash, if you're dotted, what color it will have, if it will have color or not. And if you decide, you can apply to all existing dividers, so it will change everything to this look, and you can save. And there's last part of your email, and this is this footer. So there are a few sections. There are the social media icons or sharing icons. So there are two different types of social media icons. You can see there is social share and social follow. So the social share means that by clicking on this button, it will allow you to share this particular email with your audience or with your community. The social follow will only transfer people to your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where they can find out more. Both of them could be really interesting. Both of them could be relevant. It again depends on what are you trying to achieve with your email. So again, you can click on this edit pen over here, and then you can type your own or insert your own handles. So we can type this here. And if you don't want to use Instagram, you can always remove this network here. And if you want to add more, then you can add another service. It might be an email, so you want people to be able to email you, or you can add a different account. They're really specific accounts. If you have a Spotify, if you have YouTube, if you have Snapchat, anything that you want, you can add it here. So again, once you're done, you can even change the style, you can change the colors or the settings. So instead of having this small, you can have it bigger to make it more visible. You might want to have it stacked up. You might want to use a colorful ones, or you might want to use a solid. So again, there are different variations. Some of them might stand out a little bit more. And once you're done with choosing the right style, you can save again. And the last part is this is automatic. So you don't need to worry about all of this because this will be all filled in later on automatically based on the settings that you've already pre-created in your email list. So one of the reasons is that why are you receiving this email will be one of the options in here, will say the sentence that we've typed before. Why are you receiving this email? And there will be your mailing address and obviously the option to update preferences or unsubscribe. So if you feel like you're ready, you can enter preview mode over here, where you will be able to see how the email will actually look like once it's been sent. So you can see that this is the header, there is the main headline, there is still the test first name, but don't worry, once you send the email, it will change to the particular name. And I would highly recommend testing all the links. I would highly recommend clicking at all the links that you have there to see if they actually, if all the links that you've put are actually working. So you can see that the email addresses are fine, that they're correct because the website I'm wanting to open is opening. And I would highly recommend testing all the social media icons as well to make sure that every link is correct. And you can see that the footer is now filled up, that you have the sentence, you have the mailing address, everything. And this is just the only thing that you will always have there because it just says that it's for MailChimp because you have a free account. So this watermark will stay there, but it doesn't matter because it's at the bottom. Most people will never scroll up there, and people do know that MailChimp does this, so there's no problem in having it there. You can also see how your email will look on mobile because lots of people these days will be using their checking their email on their phone. So you can see how your email will look on mobile. And you can also see in the inbox preview in case you have paid account, because otherwise you will not see it. So you can see it if you see a mistake in here. You can simply go back by using this cross, and you can go back to your editing and you can edit anything. Once you've edited and you feel like you are good to go, the email is good to go, I would still recommend to send a test email. So here you can type as many email addresses as you want. You can include instructions, and you can send a test email to actually have the actual experience of receiving email in your inbox and seeing how it looks like. Once you've done that, once you've seen how it works, you can save and close. And you can save and close. You can see that because I haven't edited all the texts, MailChimp is already telling me that there is some issue with my content, that there is some default content. So you can quickly go back on clicking the resolve button and you can edit the text. So you can see that I've left this text that wasn't adjusted at all. So I will just quickly type text. So MailChimp is happy that I've actually added some text. And again, you can see that all these are original. So I will say my copy, really just now making stuff up, but you would obviously have a proper copy of your email that you would add it here. And you can see that this one is broken into 2 columns. So I'm editing column 1 and I need to edit column 2. So you can split your text into as many columns as you want. If you want to remove column, you would go to settings and you would see that some of them might be bigger or smaller, or you might decide that you want just 1 column in your email. And just so I didn't need to do it everything, I will quickly remove these blocks because I don't need them here right now, but you can always add them back. It's up to you. So you can see that now we have a few more dividers. They're kind of adding the empty space in here. And you can see that the email is much shorter now, and we're done, and we can save and close again. And now you can see that there is no red anywhere, there's no issue, so we're good to go with sending the email. Obviously, we'll have always this, we'll add the required monkey rewards, which is the MailChimp badge at the bottom, and it's absolutely fine. And you can connect your Facebook and your Twitter to your MailChimp account, and you can automatically tweet and share on Facebook your campaigns, or you can then do it manually. It's fine, and there's just information about settings and tracking, because obviously you want to be able to track your results in your MailChimp. So once you feel like you're done, you can click on send. So MailChimp will remind you that you're sending it to this list, which is the name of the list, and you're sending this email to 2 subscribers. If you're ready, you can click send now. If you're not ready, you can still cancel, and you can schedule this email for any future date. So if you are creating the email in the evening, you probably don't want to send it in the evening. You would like your emails to go out probably Monday to Friday, ideally somewhere in the morning or around lunchtime, where is the time when people are checking their emails. Probably not during the weekend, especially if it's business related. Again, it depends on your audience, but you can set up your schedule here, and you can plan. If you're not ready, if you need someone else to check your email anything, you can always click on finish later, and the whole campaign will be here saved as a draft. You can always get back to it and edit it. So this was the creating a campaign. I will again just quickly go back to the YouTube to see if there are any questions or anything happening in there that would require my attention, so I can answer. We're good, brilliant. There's lots of you watching. Thank you. Do let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything that you would like me to explain a bit more in depth, or if there's anything that you did not get properly. Do not hesitate to type a comment in the right side of your YouTube video where it says live comment. So now we will go to quickly to show you that you can create and how you can create your own template. So it's great to pre-create your template in advance, especially if you have someone who's really talented with design, and you can let them help you to pre-create all the templates for you. So for example, you have different types of emails that you're sending out on a regular basis. One might be for events, one might be for news, and one might be for some product sales. I don't know. So you might actually want to have a different template for each of these types of emails. That will have a slightly different layout, it will have slightly different design, it will be on brand, and for whoever is the one who's doing the email on a regular basis, it's really easier to create each email. So again, to create a template, you can click here on the create template, and you can see the same options of layouts that we've already seen when we create a standalone campaign. So you can choose any of these sort of featured ones, or you can choose any of the basic ones, or you can choose any of the ones that are already here prepared. And the process is pretty much the same. It works exactly the same as we've already seen. So if I choose this basic one, it looks really the same. You can edit it by the pencil over here. You can duplicate. So if you decide that you want this text to have it twice, and you can duplicate, you can change the text in here. You can create a link. So if you'd like to remove this link, you don't want the link here, you can click on this unlink button. And if you want just this one word to link to something, you can insert the link in here. Or you can choose that maybe you want people to be able to email you or to download a file, so you can actually upload a file here as well. So the creation of template works pretty much the same as creating a standalone campaign, and you can always go back to it. You can preview and test it here the same way we've done with a standalone campaign, and then you can save and exit. You can name it here. So this could be template for events. So we will type events, and whoever is the one creating emails for events will know that in our MailChimp, the template says for events is for events. You can see that you can always go back to edit, or that you can go here and you can create a campaign. So if you're the one who's creating the emails and you have to create an email for a particular event, or if you want to send out your what's on list to your audience, then you can go to your templates over here. You will see that there is the events one pre-created. You will click on this arrow over here and you can click on create campaign. And then all you need to do is change the text based on the text that was provided that is relevant to the particular email, change the images, but all the layout, all the social media links and everything there will be ready for you. So this is how you can create your own template. You can design all the graphics. So if you see that we will preview this one, it's already here. So you can see that there are kind of really nicely designed graphics in here. And you can create them by yourself in Canva. And we've already done a Canva webinar a while ago, and you will be able to find the link on our YouTube channel. So if you would like to learn how to create beautiful designs really simply, really quickly for free, check out that webinar. And again, it can enhance your email marketing campaigns a lot. So we'll just quickly recap what we've already talked about. So we've talked about lists, how to create a new list, and how to edit a current list. You can simply add people by clicking on this person here. And once you send out some emails, you will be able to check some stats. You can create standalone campaigns here. Again, you will create a campaign by click create campaign here. And you can always, again, save your campaign as a draft and then get back to it as edit, or you can actually replicate the same campaign in case you want to send the same email to different email lists. Then you can replicate a campaign here and send it to multiple lists in your MailChimp. So this is the basic navigation, and one of the things I wanted to show you is creating a landing page. So I've mentioned that in MailChimp, not only you can send emails, but you can capture emails by creating sign-up forms and landing pages. So here, if you click on the landing page, you can create a new page for particular reasons. So for example, if I want to collect email addresses for this particular list, and I want to send people somewhere to be able to tell them why they should sign up and collect their email addresses, I can create a standalone landing page directly within MailChimp. I don't need to have a website. I don't need to do anything. I just literally create the MailChimp landing page here. And again, the designing of the landing page is as easy as is to create a new email. It works exactly the same. So you click on a pencil and you can type whatever you want. You can change, again, the design. You can make it blue. You can make a different font. You can make a different style. It works pretty much the same as it worked with creating an email. You can choose what fields you actually will require. So you can have simply just email, or you maybe want to have their first name. And if you're asking for more than just an email and first name, for example, if you're looking for the address, phone number, and birthday, again, keep GDPR in mind, because you need to have a reason for collecting this particular data. So if you're collecting birthday, you need to actually explain why, and you should not be collecting more data that you actually require. So maybe just keeping it as a first name and email address. Maybe you want the first name to be first. So you can, again, in here, you should be able to kind of move things around. kind of see, okay, this will be first, this will be second, or it will be the other way around. And once you're done, you can save and close. And again, you can put a video here if you have a really quick elevator pitch on why should people sign up to your email list. You can edit here. Once you're done, you can click on the preview. So MailChimp will load up how your landing page will look like, again, on desktop and on mobile. And once you're done, you can click on save and continue, and you will be taken to a little bit more of the admin. So again, you can change the page title, what will show up in here. This is the page title on the top. So you want something that, again, is appropriate. It will tell people what it is about. You might want to customize your URL. So it will always start with MailChimp, but then you can add whatever you want to it to make it more rememberable. So it's not just some random number. You can change the list and you can edit the design. And you can change if you want actually to add the CAPTCHA. So people need to prove that they're humans, not a robot. Again, you can click on publish here, or you can again save it here on finish later. So this is the basics of MailChimp. We're almost running out of time. So I will quickly again go back to the YouTube to see if there's anything that you were asking. And in the last few minutes, I will show you reports, how to actually do reports and how to use reports. But to do that, I will log into my personal MailChimp account, where actually we already have some campaigns, and you can see how it works. So if your MailChimp account has been around for a while, you will have already sent out a certain number of campaigns, and you will get some result. So in the overview of your campaigns, you can see that this is the campaign name, this is the email list that it was sent to. You can see how many recipients were there, how many people received this email. I can see if it was sent or it's just drafted. And then you can see here two interesting numbers. One is the open rate, the percent of people out of 100% of the whole list that opened your email, and how many of them clicked on any of the links. If you have multiple links, it will still count as a click. And you can see that if you hover over it, it will show you the actual number. So if you're away, it will show you the percentages. And if you hover over it, it will show you the actual numbers. So we can click on the view report here, and it will show us a bit more in-depth information about this particular campaign. So we will see that, again, this was the list, this was the subject, this was the date it was sent, this was how many people it was sent to. If you have an e-commerce and you have an online website, online shop, and you have it connected to your MailChimp, you might be able to see how many orders and how much revenue actually came through MailChimp. I do work mostly with service-based companies, so I do not use MailChimp for e-commerce. So I do not have any orders in here. But you can see over here that you have the open rate, the percentage. It also tells you the comparison of how this campaign performed to any previous campaigns that you've sent to this particular list, and how does this reflect on the industry standard. And the same for the click rate. So you can see this campaign performed pretty well. It was above average for this particular list and way above average for the industry average. Here you can see the overview of how many people actually opened, how many people clicked. There, the bounce means that the email could not be delivered, and unsubscribe would mean obviously that someone decided to click the unsubscribe button at the bottom, that they don't want to receive any future emails from me. And at the bottom here, you can see kind of timeline of what was the most popular time. Again, it depends on when was this sent. It was sent early in the morning, fairly early in the morning. So you can see that it was sent somewhere over here. You can see that around lunchtime there was a peak of people opening it, and then after in the afternoon there was another peak, and then later in the evening there was another peak of people opening. If there was multiple links in the email, you could see the top links. You can see the links that actually were clicked. And I can't scroll any lower because they're actual email address of actual people. But if you scroll down in your report, you will be able to see who are the people who are actually opening your emails. You can see who are the people who clicked on the link. You might be able to see who are the people who unsubscribed. So again, you can do lots more in your analytics, in your reports. So you can see the activity based on the open rate, click on the clicks of people who didn't open, who bounced. If there's someone who complained, you might be able to check the links, check the social, and everything else. So if you then go to the reports, it will show you an overall result of all your campaigns. So you can see that every time there is a campaign, there is a kind of a peak, and you can see that whenever there is no campaign, or there is not interesting campaign or bad timing of campaign, that there was a lower peak. So you can see again all your campaigns in here with all their results, and you can, if you have a landing page on MailChimp, you can see the landing page results over here. And one thing that we haven't mentioned yet was automation. And you can create automated emails. And how you do that is if you go to campaigns, you go to create campaign, you want to create email, but you want to create an automated email. And here it will give you different automation options. So it might be that every time a new subscriber joins your email list, they will get an introduction email. If you're collecting birthdays, you might have a specific email that goes to people on their birthday. So every time someone on your mailing list has a birthday, there will be email that goes automatically to them. There might be, if you have an e-commerce and you have people putting stuff into their basket, but they are not going through with the purchase, you might be able to email them like, hey, you have something in your basket. Are you sure you don't want to buy it? And again, you can automatically do these things through MailChimp. Or if you have your MailChimp connected to your website, and you can create RSS feed of every time you update a new blog post, you can automatically email it to people, so you don't actually need to create a new mailing list, and you can automatically email every new blog post to people. You can create new automated emails based on subscriber activity, which is really interesting if you want to create an email chain. So you want to email people every few weeks or every few months based on any plan that you might have. So it might be that you create welcome to new subscribers, and again you can say the welcome message, you can select the list, and you can begin creating, or maybe you want actually to have an onboarding sequence. When people purchased one of your services or bought one of your products, you want to take them through an onboarding series of emails where you explain different features. But this is, again, not basic. This is a bit more advanced. But once you get a hang of how the creation of the chain works, the creation of actual emails is pretty much the same, and it's pretty straightforward. So this is it. This is MailChimp. This is how MailChimp works. I will just quickly stop sharing my screen and go back to having my face on and going back to the YouTube, so I can actually see if there are any questions, any comments, and to just wrap up this session. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying here with me for a whole hour. I really hope that this was helpful. Please do let me know if you have any questions, if you have any specific questions on to do something on MailChimp or how to use it, how to create it, do let me know, or do get in touch with the Cambridge Online team or the Cambridge CVS. They might be able to put another webinar or another course for you together. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was helpful. And as I said, if you want to learn more about creating beautiful graphics for your emails, do check out the Canva video. I will put the link into the description of this video after it's processed, so you can get back to it and rewatch. This video will be live on Cambridge Online YouTube channel, so you can always go back to it if there is a specific part of the video that you want to rewatch and refresh. Thank you again, and I hope that you have a really, really nice rest of the day and rest of the week, and I hope to see you around. Thank you. Bye.